White.
After South Dakota State playing on your home floor, that's the start you want. The team has been erratic shooting the ball at times this year.
Picked off by Walters, and 8-0 South Dakota State.
Well, they've done this to so many teams that have come into Frost as they put the hammer down right away. UND's got to be careful here that they don't let it snowball and really get out of hand right out of the gate.
Anderson double screen for him. Wilmer for three. Dykstra rebound. Walters checked by Webb here early on. A little screen from Fegan. And that's a 2 by Walters. Rebound to Tony Fegan. One more time, Webb reached in there and took it away from him. Here's Aaron Anderson for North Dakota.
That was a big stop there by UND. Finally got the strip, but they need to get themselves on the board here on the scoring column.
Jackrabbits have had Tennessee State in here. Very good opponent. Would you put North Dakota in that category, that caliber?
Probably not quite in that caliber yet. Tennessee State, one of the teams picked near the very top of the Ohio Valley Conference. UND gonna have to get a timeout as the Jacks have gotten off to a 10-0 run.
They get the 2 here from Tony Fegan. Walters has the layup. White's got a 3. Jordan Dykstra's got a 3. Jacks, I guess they had those couple of misses by Fegan inside, but otherwise South Dakota State dropping it in here early, and they're up 10-0.
Scott Nagy was not happy with his team's performance the last time out. They played Southwest Minnesota State on this home floor right before Thanksgiving. And you can tell the lit a fire under his team coming out of the gate in this one.
And they got the win that night against Southwest Minnesota, but led by 20 in the second half. They kind of let up at the end, but there was a little bit of lag from that trip to New York the Jackrabbits took. I guess we can say that. At least Scott probably wouldn't agree with that, but
well, the thing that does to teams when you go on long road trips like that and you play a lot of games, like they did when they went to New York, they played 3 games, you miss out on so much practice time because you're spending so much of your time preparing for opponents.
Into the hands of Walters again.
This is just becoming a disastrous start to this game for UND. They got 4 turnovers. They haven't hit a shot yet. Like had 1 field goal attempt.
Finally a miss by Dykstra. Brecky with a rebound. And Schuler, very good jump shooter for North Dakota, gets them their first 2. He is part of that junior class. Schuler and Webb and Huff and Anderson. Brecky, all those guys that are really good, young, well, not young anymore, but when they were young, they were one of the leading scoring freshman teams in the country.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They've all had seasoned play. They've gotten a lot of experience playing for this North Dakota team in the last couple of years.
Dykstra on the drive, foul here on Doug Archer, who checked in for North Dakota. And now Lenny Antwi, a sophomore, will come in for Jamal Webb. Fegan off the lob on the entry pass. I think it was Chad White who set him up. His former teammate at Madison High School in South Dakota.
Tom, coming into this game, I felt UND's biggest advantage would be their quickness, their ability to dribble penetrate. We haven't seen any of it yet here. They have not been able to get into the rim and force South Dakota State to rotate on that backside defensively. South Dakota State doing a nice job closing out to shooters, playing gap defense right now.
Anderson, tough pass to handle for Brecky.
They got the penetration that time, but couldn't complete the play.
Walters slipping inside. Dykstra, good look at a 3. White had it. Anderson knocked it off the official, and it stays in play. And Aaron Anderson going right at Braden Carlson this time. And Aaron Anderson will get a couple of free throws when we come back, but a hot start for the Jackrabbits. Couple of threes by White and Dykstra. And from the tip, it's been the Jacks up 12-2 thus far.
financial advisor is being accused of committing one of the largest investment frauds in the history of the United States.
I guess we're not going to Aspen. That's fine. You see, I like tennis balls. He likes insider trading. So he's going to jail and I'm going to a shelter. And no, they're not the same thing. Shelters are for good pets that want to be adopted. Jails are for criminals. I've done nothing. Uh-oh. Ooh, okay, I stole a cheeseburger once. I'm a dog.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
This Midco Sports Network broadcast is brought to you by Sanford Health, where we come together to improve the human condition.
Nice crowd at Frost Arena in Brookings. Aaron Anderson at the line to shoot for North Dakota. Looking into the student section, they've rearranged the seating a little bit here this year, moved the students over to the ends of the floor. And Anderson makes good on his first 2 attempts of the night. North Dakota, though, Brad, just 2 field goal attempts thus far. They've made one of them, that jump shot by Schuler. And meanwhile, the Jacks have made 5 out of 9 shots.
5 turnovers for North Dakota, a big reason why they have struggled here on this offensive end.
Rebound by Wilmer, and here is Lenny Antwi. Nice little drop off to Wilmer, and one for Mitch Wilmer.
Well, that's what North Dakota's guards can do. They get you off one defensively there. South Dakota State gets kind of hung up there. Tony Fegan trying to help on the ball screen. His man rolls to the basket, and Wilmer gets an easy look.
Well, this is what you were talking about, right? Antwi and Anderson and Webb and these guys on the dribble penetration.
Yeah, they're great ball handlers. They're quick. And, you know, South Dakota State has very good size on the perimeter, but they don't have a lot of quickness sometimes on the perimeter. And we'll see if that gets exploited here as the game goes on.
So North Dakota back within 5 now after getting down 10-0 and 12-2. Ryan Jones up applauding his team's defense on this possession, but a foul here about midway through the shot clock on Aaron Anderson.
On the other end of the floor, you see South Dakota State posting up Chad White. Wherever they can feel like they get a mismatch, they'll do that, and they can get away with that, Tom, because South Dakota State's bigs, Dykstra, Fegan, are such good ball handlers and perimeter players.
Braden Carlson rattles that out. Another rebound down to Doug Archer. North Dakota is down a big man as well tonight. In addition to Troy Huff being out, Alonzo Traylor, one of their big JUCO transfers this year, he is out, was injured, got banged up a little bit in practice.
Injuries are definitely a part of the game, but when you lose key players like North Dakota, especially losing Huff, that's their leading scorer, their leader, offensively kind of their team leader as well. So they certainly miss him tonight big time.
Yeah, not sure what the timeline is for his return as Dykstra goes up and pulls down that rebound. North Dakota's got a home game on December 5th next week against Kansas City.
And they're looking forward to getting back to playing at Grand Forks. They've been road warriors to start the season. Only had 1 home game so far, and they're racking up the frequent flyer miles too, aren't they?
They had a nice little trip to Hawaii last week. Played 1 game there against the Rainbow Warriors. I think they were out there for almost a week, so they had a nice trip to Hawaii.
Can't blame them on that at all. How unusual is it, though? You don't usually see teams fly out there all the way out there and just get to play one game, but that's what they did on that trip.
Here is Tavon Prince for the Jacks. Hands it off to Fegan, and again, the big guys for North Dakota. Nice job initially defensively, but then a foul on Jordan Allard.
Nice pump fake there by Fegan. Get the defense off the floor.
Tony Fegan now in his senior season, 6'7", Madison, South Dakota. He and Chad White came in together.
Fegan's just been a solid player throughout his career. Not a big-time scorer, but just does all the little things that you need someone to do on your team. A great defender, great rebounder, great screener. But has improved his face-up game on the offensive end this year.
6 for Fegan. Wilmer trying to bring down the hammer. He got fouled on the attempt.
This is a wrinkle South Dakota State has shown a few times this year. Going into a full court press after a free throw. North Dakota was ready for it, broke it. Wilmer almost with the flush.
Braden Carlson got a piece of his arm on the way up. So North Dakota trying to settle in here after they got blitzed early on. Jackrabbits came out with 10 straight points. And here is Jake Biddle, true freshman for the Jacks. In for Carlson.
Well, the fact right there that you mentioned Jake Biddle getting some time here as a true freshman on this very veteran squad speaks to how much the South Dakota State coaching staff thinks of this freshman, getting him in early in a game like this.
5 points for Wilmer, and North Dakota back within 5 now. Here's Tavon Prince to Biddle. And he and Walters out there at the same time. Walters rarely comes off the floor, plays about 37 minutes a game. Prince, they like that little mid-range game for him, strong inside, but another miss for the Jacks now. And Webb back the other way to Antwi. Tapped out by Wilmer, and Schuler saves it.
Great extra effort there by North Dakota to keep it alive. See UND starting to settle in here a little bit more offensively, starting to run their ball screen action, having a little more patience with it.
Well, made the Jacks play about 20 seconds of defense there, and then a foul on South Dakota State.
And you couple that with the fact that they have the offensive board as well. That becomes a long defensive possession for SDSU.
And that is the second foul on Tony Fegan. Fegan out, Marcus Heemstra back, or on for the first time now for South Dakota State. Schuler probably could shoot it from there if he wanted to. And Allard, well, Jordan Allard doesn't take a lot of those. That's his second 3 of the season, and he's got North Dakota back within 2.
Yeah, he's got the perimeter skills. He is the one big on UND's team that can spot up from that three-point line.
Heemstra just inside the three-point line, and the Jacks have cooled it off now, and that is off of Tavon Prince. And we will get a timeout with 11:48 to go here in the first half. North Dakota coming back nicely after South Dakota State out to that 10-point lead. UND back within 2. Jacks lead at 14-12.
I know, 2 seconds. Hang on, just stand still. Stand still, love. 1 second. I know. Just okay, go, go, go. No. Boys, hang on, boys.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
I've always said that you can't change what you don't acknowledge. So let's acknowledge this. 1 in 6 Americans now struggle with hunger. These are our co-workers, our neighbors, our friends. The problem is closer than you think. But so is the solution. This is a changing day, not just in your life, but in the lives of many, many others. Join me by visiting feedingamerica.org and find your local food bank to help. I'm Dr. Phil, and together we're Feeding America.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Jackrabbits ran out to a 12-2 lead. North Dakota has come screaming back to get within 2 now. And UND with the basketball. Aaron Anderson back, so is Brecky. And here is Schuler.
Talk about basketball being a game of runs, and that's what we've seen so far. North Dakota on a nice little 10-2 run themselves right now.
Webb with a little shot put three that is well short. He was about 5 feet behind the three-point line as well. But good defensive possession for the Jacks. South Dakota State, though, has missed its last 4 from the field, and they're in a little field goal drought here, Brad.
Approaching about 5 minutes here without making a shot. Got a couple free throws there by Fegan, but scoring has run dry.
Well, if you're the Jackrabbits, you're Scott Nagy, you don't play a lot of guys to begin with. You've got 2 guys on the bench right now with 2 fouls as White misses another 3. Fegan and Braden Carlson both with 2 fouls right now for the Jacks. So do you think they'll be back here in the first half anytime soon?
It wouldn't surprise me if they were, because they're veteran players, and those are guys that can play with some foul trouble. The way this game will flow will dictate that a little bit right now, but you know, South Dakota State's has gotten stagnant. You know, they hit some perimeter shots to start the game, and they've kind of chosen to live and die by that so far here.
Walters so far just that steal and layup. He's got 2 right now. Prince slicing in. North Dakota's defense has really picked up. Walters will go to the line. Foul on Jordan Allard. Second on Allard for North Dakota. And Doug Archer will come in for him.
Well, Nate Walters doing what he does best, and that's getting to the rim and to the basket.
And to the free throw, yeah, to the free throw line as well.
As a result of that, yeah. And you don't average 22 points a game and not get some of those from the stripe.
Walters had 30 against Alabama in that season opener. 22 here against Tennessee State in that good win for the Jacks.
Yeah, he just gets it done every night for this club. He hasn't had an off night yet this season and had very few last year as well.
Jamal Webb stepped out of bounds, making his move. And both teams have chilled out here a little bit, especially South Dakota State. As you said, good minutes here for the freshman for the Jackrabbits, Jake Biddle.
As you look here, just South Dakota State's lost some of their motion, their screening.
Free for Prince, way long. And yes, out of sync right now for the Jackrabbit offense. They're getting player movement, but North Dakota's staying right with it.
They are. You know, South Dakota State early on in this game, I thought, you know, had some good dribble penetration, had some player movement. They were moving the basketball really quick as well. North Dakota was having a hard time keeping up with the pace. Hasn't been the case here of late, and that last shot, not the shot that they want Tavon Prince taken from 3. Yes, you got to give UND some credit here. They have settled down quite a bit from the first couple minutes.
Walters spinning around Antwi.
That's where the complete package of what Nate Walters does. You see the drive here. Antwi cuts him off, but able to spin and uses his size and gets elevated enough to get that shot off and ultimately draw the foul. You know, a lot of people ask, what makes this kid such a great player, Tom? Well, he's got the skill set, he's got the athleticism, and he has some size to go along with it at the guard spot.
He does have the athleticism. He probably doesn't get enough credit for that. Excellent athlete at 6'4". Got the Jacks back up by 5 here, but a struggle to score at both ends, and Aaron Anderson with his first field goal, a 3 for North Dakota, get him back within 2.
Anderson, a tough kid to close out on because he's so quick off the dribble, and you close out, you don't give him enough closeout and give him enough space, he can bang that 3, and now here he is getting a rebound and pushing the ball.
Ties it up on the hoop by Jamal Webb, assist to Aaron Anderson.
And at 5'10", and that might be a stretch for Anderson, he is a good rebounder, gets about 4 a game, and those ones fuel fast breaks for this North Dakota team, and here comes another.
He's got Antwi running with him. Back to Anderson. North Dakota on top by 2.
Beautiful fast break basketball by this North Dakota team.
Blow by Walters, though, this time. Doug Archer came over a little bit late. And Walters trying to do his thing now. He's got 7.
It's like someone set an alarm clock in this game. It was getting kind of snoozy for a while, and now we're at least getting up and down the floor.
That shot by Brecky was in the air for about 4 seconds. We'll stay at North Dakota's end, though, as Heemstra will come in, and Zach Horstman off the bench as well for South Dakota State.
So you see the coaching decision there by Scott Nagy, going with Horstman rather than bringing back Carlson, who has 2 fouls. UND also, interesting lineup they have. They've gone with 3 guards here now. Not a lot of size on the perimeter, but again, trying to exploit their quickness and ball handling ability.
Deep into the shot clock again off the knees of Wilmer. Heemstra, nice catch, and then he crouched it.
Walters needs those so he can get those assist numbers up. He finished 1 assist short, they say, last year of having 6 for an average on the season, which mattered a lot because he could have become, like the 2nd player in NCAA history to average 26 assists and 5 boards.
And a 3 by Doug Archer. That's his first 3-point attempt of the season. And North Dakota on top by 3. Walters got hit on the arm going up, and let's see, 2 or a 3. It'll be 2 shots coming up for Walters, but North Dakota has answered big here as we hit 6:57 to go. Aaron Anderson and North Dakota back on top by 3.
I'm Les Howard, Financial Advisor at Howard Wealth Management in Brookings. With over 20 years of experience in public and private finance, I am dedicated to helping you meet your financial goals. I have extensive experience in developing investment plans around long-term goals and risk tolerance. I can help you to structure a balanced portfolio to plan to reach your financial goals and assist you in making the right choices based on your unique needs. Call me, Les Howard, at Howard Wealth Management for a relationship-driven advisor who will focus on surpassing all of your expectations.
One for their last 11 field goal attempts. This is a team that, you look at their identity, Tom, it's on the offensive end of the floor. They're a team that can shoot it well, that needs to score points in order to be successful.
Walters, 3 out of 4 at the line already. This Attempts 5 and 6. Had that 30 at Bama. He had 20 points, 10 rebounds against Hofstra. 22 points, 10 assists against Marshall. 22 against Tennessee State. Averaging 22 a game.
He's averaging 22 a game. Like I said, he has been consistent this year. And, you know, the one thing you talk to Scott Nagy and their staff that they've really been looking for is solid contributors, consistent contributors to go along with Walters. Haven't always had it. And in the games that South Dakota State has struggled this year, it's because they've relied so much on Walters to do everything. And you can get away with that, you know, for a game or two, but over the course of a 30-game season, obviously that's not going to happen.
Again, Fegan and Carlson stay on the bench right now with 2 fouls. Marcus Heemstra getting some more time. Jake Biddle, the freshman, is in there. This is Horstman. Another miss on 3 for the Jacks, but a rebound to Heemstra. Stolen by Jordan Allard. North Dakota coming the other way with a 1-point lead.
If you're UND, this is exactly how you kind of want the game to play out. You want it to be maybe a little slower pace. You want it to be lower scoring. That keeps you in it. Fewer possessions. Let's see UND just trying to spread the court, look for penetration. South Dakota State just switching those screens on the perimeter.
No for Schuler, and now Walters, guarded by Webb.
UND just playing kind of a gap defense as well, making sure they close out shooters as they get a steal there.
Count it on the run for Mitch Wilmer. 7 already for Wilmer. And a 3-point North Dakota lead.
Now, Wilmer's been an X factor in this game, Tom. Has been little used this year for UND, but love the way he ran the floor on that last possession.
We get a foul here on Biddle as Aaron Anderson was there defensively for North Dakota. So Ryan Jones having to run his big men in and out of there quite a bit. Wilmer will go down. Doug Archer comes back in. And Brandon Brecky in as well for North Dakota. Braden Carlson is at the bench ready to come in for the Jackrabbits. Making South Dakota State play a lot of defense.
Yeah, for long stretches of time.
Schuler for 3.
In UND's game plan, you can tell coming in, be patient. You know, kind of try to wear South Dakota State down, possession after possession, almost like a football team that just tries to pound you with the running game and hope that the other team's going to finally break down.
Prince took some contact and a travel called on Tavon Prince. North Dakota gets it right back. North Dakota's hit 4 threes already. And Walters will get a break now as Carlson comes back in. Timeout under 4 minutes coming up here momentarily. So Walters probably will get only that amount of rest for the media timeout under 4.
Tom, think about how easy those first 12 points were for South Dakota State. I mean, they had 12 points at the first media timeout. Since then, just 9 points in the last 12 minutes.
Oh, yeah, it looks easy when you're making shots, doesn't it? North Dakota's doing that right now. Jamal Webb again. 8-point North Dakota lead. They're on a 10-0 run of their own here. It is quiet in Foster Arena.
Dead quiet. Has not been anything to cheer about.
Prince this time on the drive. They're going to get a foul on Josh Schuler, but UND leads it by 8.
I want back in the game. I want to rise above the pain. I want the best Ducks to have my back, Sanford Ducks, so I can shatter backboards, shatter records. I want MVP. I want everything. But first, I want back in the game.
Get stronger, play smarter. Return to performance. Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Some are new.
I'm Marissa,
from Minot.
Some have been with us for a while.
Welcome to Grand Forks. I'm Steve.
Yet no matter how long they've been with Mid-Continent Communications or where they work in our region,
I'm Dean, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Mid-Continent's 1,300 employees have a few very important things in common.
Hi, I'm Bob from Watertown.
They really care about your experience as a customer.
Welcome. I'm Julie from Mitchell, South Dakota.
They're committed to delivering exciting new entertainment and communication services.
Hi, I'm Erin from Sioux Falls.
And they believe that community service, from building houses for the homeless,
Jennifer from Fairmont,
to organizing events that bring whole communities together,
hi, I'm Cole in Bemidji,
is just as important as providing great customer service. Because connecting people, no matter how we do it, is something we truly enjoy. Mid-Continent Communications, the connection that counts.
This Midco Sports Network broadcast is brought to you by Sanford Health, where we come together to improve the human condition.
UND has jumped to the lead here late in the first half. Tavon Prince, a 1-and-1 for the Jackrabbits. His first point of the night. South Dakota State from the field, Brad. 6 of 22, that's 27%. They've made how many of their last 12 shots?
One of their last 12, yeah. And that one, I think, was a while ago.
Rebound to Dykstra. Here is somebody that the Jacks need to get going, and he does. 5 for Dykstra. And a 3-point trip at least for South Dakota State to get him back within 5. North Dakota, meanwhile, 10 of 17 from the field. And they have hit 4 threes already on 6 attempts.
And to North Dakota's credit as well, they've taken much better care of the basketball, too. They got off to a rocky start there. They're being patient, taking care of it, getting good shots.
Rebound down to Horstman, sophomore from Winter, South Dakota. And Walters did get just that little break and feeds Tavon Prince. 5 straight points for the Jacks.
It's hard to put a value on those types of plays that Walters makes for this team. Gets the dribble penetration, finds an open teammate.
So 7 straight for South Dakota State after they got down. Nice move by Webb, sets up Brecky. Good. North Dakota stays, if not hot, very warm, Brad.
Their guards do such a fantastic job of, once they get people drawn to them, of finding the open man.
Reach in on Brecky, 1-on-1. Coming up for Dykstra for the Jacks.
No doubt that he got Dykstra on the arm there.
First doesn't feel like that when you're the defender, though, right?
Exactly. You're trying to make an aggressive play. And those are big momentum swings if you can get a strip on the perimeter, because a lot of times that leads to a fast break for you.
Brian Jones, player in his day at Northern Iowa.
He's done a fantastic job bringing this North Dakota program along through the transition to Division I. He took over, they were still Division II, moving into Division I. But like you mentioned, they had some great success in the postseason in the Great West. And now moving to the Big Sky this year.
Nice move by Brecky. He's got 4. And we hit 2 minutes with a 6-point North Dakota lead.
Brian Jones has just got to be tickled the way his team has played outside of those first 3 minutes. But, you know, they weathered that storm, hung together, didn't panic, and have led most of this half.
They're just packing it in now, almost daring the Jacks to throw it out for a 3-point attempt. And instead, Prince with an and 1. And Tavon Prince now with 5 points.
Well, South Dakota State's credit, they've become a little bit more aggressive here now after this last media time, and at least going to the rim there. Prince with a big-time force, but got it to go.
Sophomore out of Toronto, averaging about 7.5 points a game, and he's got 6 already for the Jacks coming off the bench. Again, Fegan has been out with those 2 fouls since the 12.5-minute mark here, so they're going to go the rest of the way without Tony Fegan. And Braden Carlson now back on the bench as well. Horstman has come in. Played a lot of minutes here in this first half for the Jackrabbits. Mitch Wilmer at 6'11". Couldn't get it down. Now Walters with an opportunity with 1:20 here. Horstman can tie it with that, but the Jacks cannot buy a three right now. Antwi out to Archer, to Anderson, back to Doug Archer, and count it.
Well, miscommunication on South Dakota State's part on who's supposed to rotate back defensively. Horstman was late getting back. He was the one that took that perimeter shot. And North Dakota has made good on a few transition opportunities in this ball game so far.
Foul was on Walters, his first.
Oh.
Smooth by Nate DeGray. He's going to go back to the free throw line. 9 points thus far for Walters. And yes, some of the shake and bake and the moves he makes are unbelievable.
Yeah, we missed the impressive part on that clip there was the fake handoff, kind of a almost football-like fake a running play, you know, play action type stuff. I think the entire UND defense shifted thinking the handoff had happened, and it really hadn't.
$11 for Walters, 7 of those coming at the free throw line. And he's got the Jacks back within 3. Shane Benton, redshirt freshman, is on for North Dakota. Webb, a little contact from behind. Might have got smacked on the wrist there, but no whistle. And Dykstra the other way with 30 seconds to go.
Not the shot there for Dykstra, off the dribble and a fadeaway. That's been a little bit of South Dakota State's woes in this half as well, with some poor shots. Tom, you got to give North Dakota tons of credit here. They've come in here in this first half, kind of taken the wind out of the sails. They've taken the crowd out of this game big time.
Jackrabbit crowd on some night, not the students. The students can get loud. Jackrabbit crowd will sit back and relax a lot of nights. Another 3 by Archer. He's already hit his first of the season tonight. They kick it back out, and a 3 at the buzzer is good for Jamal Webb. And why not for North Dakota, as they, after about the first 5 minutes of the game, it has been North Dakota here, and the UND will go into the locker room with a 6-point lead. They're going to take a look at that last 3-point attempt just to make sure that he got it off in time, and it appeared he definitely did.
Yeah, and it was a great hustle play to keep the rebound alive. North Dakota's done that a few times here, and they're certainly right in the momentum of this first half.
5 threes in the first half. North Dakota leads at 38-32.
Meet Rob Moore from Aberdeen, South Dakota. As a Mid-Continent service manager, he makes sure our service techs have the tools to keep customers ahead of the technology game. Rob also keeps busy coaching youth football, teaching kids both the fundamentals of the game and good sportsmanship. Looks like Rob's a game changer in more ways than one.
I'm Rob Moore, and we're good people here in Aberdeen.
First Bank and Trust presents 5 a.m. on the farm.
The rooster crows, cattle are hungry, crops are growing. In the ag business, you never say, I'll get to it when I can. So why does your bank? First Bank and Trust makes quick decisions, local decisions, rain or shine. We're big enough to do the heavy lifting, small enough when the clock is ticking. It's true, good things come to those who wait, but you should never wait on your bank. So for ag banking, bank better, bank smarter, bank easy at First Bank and Trust.
Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Hey, who's that?
Oh, that's Rob.
When I lived in this apartment, the 49ers won the Super Bowl. I used to watch every game from this exact spot. This exact spot. I didn't know what else to do. This is my lucky seat, man. The team needs me, man.
Bud Light, for the fans who do whatever it takes.
Nice.
UND by 6 at the half. The officials taking a final look at that last shot at the buzzer by Jamal Webb, and it was definitely good. They counted as a 3. North Dakota hit 5 threes in that first half, and South Dakota State ran out to that 12-2 lead, and since then North Dakota just flipped the switch, came alive. It's your job to tell us how they came back and did this. How'd they do this?
Well, it was slowly and methodical. You know, it wasn't just like some huge run they went on, but they started playing a lot better on the defensive end. South Dakota State started getting a little more stagnant, so it was a little bit of a two-way street with that. But nonetheless, North Dakota seized the momentum and really never let go of it for most of that first half.
Jackrabbits end up shooting at 33% in that first half at the hot start they had, and then they just went totally cold midway through the first half. And that was the start. Chad White hit that 3. Jordan Dykstra hit that 3. Walters had a layup in between. There was 10-0 South Dakota State, and then the 3 started going at the other end. Jordan Allard, Aaron Anderson with a 3. And it wasn't just threes. They were getting some penetration in the 3 by Doug Archer. That's only the 3rd career 3 for Doug Archer. He's a senior in North Dakota. And then Jamal Webb, that little push shot. Dykstra here with an offensive rebound on the missed free throw, and South Dakota State got back within a couple, but the 3 at the end here by Jamal Webb to push him back to a 6-point lead. Walters in that first half, a pedestrian for him anyway, 11 points and 3 assists. As you take a look at the numbers, 56% from the field for North Dakota and 33 for the Jackrabbits.
And a big key there, the 5 of 9 3-pointers from UND. That's also a great recipe to try to win on the road if you can shoot it that well.
South Dakota State getting to the free throw line, but look at the assists. 11 assists on 14 made baskets for North Dakota, and that is Anderson and Webb and Antwi getting into the paint, kicking it out to open shooters.
Their guards have done an amazing job finding the open shooters, which has been a huge key for them as well.
All right, you had the 3 by Archer, just everything going right in the first half after that first couple of minutes for North Dakota, and it is 38-32. North Dakota on top of the Jackrabbits here at Frost Arena. We'll go back to the studios in Sioux Falls. We'll see you back here with the second half.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway of the Minnesota Vikings. I'm a big fan of how youth sports can help kids stay physically fit. But as an athlete and a parent, I'm also very concerned about safety. Millions of sports-related concussions happen every year, and many go unrecognized. That's alarming because the wrong treatment can slow recovery, worsen the condition, or lead to permanent damage. Please learn the facts about concussions and help protect our young athletes.
To learn more, visit sanfordhealth.org/headsup.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
My mama always said, life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get.
Lions, tigers, bears. Oh my!
I could have been a contender.
Welcome to the Midcoast Sports Network studio. I'm Jason Andera, joined by Jordan Dalton. We're at the half right now in Frost Arena, where they're losing to UND. UND has come out with a 38-32 lead after the end of the first half. And if you would watch just the first few minutes of this game, you might be surprised that UND is leading at halftime. Talk about how they came out of the gates today, Jordan.
Yeah, well, SDSU came out blazing, came out on a 10-0 run. But then UND kind of took that punch and stayed with their game plan. They kept their composure, kept playing tough, solid defense, and obviously, as you can see, they built that 6-point lead. So SDSU's got to do a better job of keeping that effort up the entire game.
Right. Right. How has UND been able to establish that on offense? You know, getting some offense without their leading scorer in the game, by the way, who is going to be out for another week or so with a jaw injury, Huff, that is. So how have they been able to generate the offense?
Yeah, they've been able to get easy buckets in transition. You know, they're getting the rebound. They're really pushing it up the court. And when you don't have your leading scorer, the best way to get easy buckets is to get them going in transition. They've also used their ball screen action to perfection as far as getting into the lane, getting easy shots. You know, you get into the lane, you can create some open shots, not only for yourself, but for some of your teammates. So their guards, Anderson, has been doing a great job of penetrating, kicking, and also penetrating and finishing as well.
Well, Coach Nagy for SDSU talked about raising the level of intensity in this game, a foe that they've played many times over the past few years. Have they been able to keep that intensity up against a team like UND?
No, they haven't. It's plain and simple. You know, they came out, like I said, in those first 3 minutes, and they were ready to go. You could tell they were focused and fired up. But then after that, it got real stagnant on offense. You know, they got a couple guys with a couple fouls. So, you know, maybe had to play some players that weren't used to playing as many minutes, or, you know, a combination of guys that weren't used to being on the court at the same time. So, you know, that intensity kind of fell off and reflective in the score as well.
Well, let's talk about the Star Watch. Nate Walters, of course, one of the stars of not only this league, but of any league in the NCAA, in the preseason John Wooden Award finalist, one of the top 50 in the nation, preseason All-American. He's come out with 10 points in the first half. What has UND been able to do to, well, I guess contain him would be the right word?
Well, he's been doing a great job of getting to the rim, you know, getting to the rim and getting fouled and getting free throws, so getting some easy buckets. But he hasn't been able to get his teammates involved, and that's been the toughest part. And I think that's where UND has had some success, is saying, hey, Nate Walters, you're going to have to get 40 to beat us today. You know, and I'm sure he's capable of doing it. But
he could do it if anybody could. We could see that happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, he'll have to work on just getting his teammates easier shots. You know, in the second half, they got a little jump shot happy there. I know they shoot a really good percent. I think it's 38% from the 3-point line normally on the season, but they got to get more things going to the basket, not just him.
Well, we've seen a good first half. North Dakota up 38-32 at halftime. On the other side of the break, we'll talk a little bit about the scores around the Big Sky Conference and the Summit League, 2 leagues that we'll be following. And we'll also look at some of the new signees that SDSU has on the basketball team. Coming up next on the Midcoast Sportsnet Studio Show.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
It's close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Did you buy the flashlight and the batteries?
Yes.
Did you make sure we're not missing anything in the first aid kit?
Yep.
Did you go through the plan with the kids again?
Yes.
The more you prepare today, the more you'll be able to reduce the devastating effects of a tornado, an earthquake, a power outage, or any other disaster. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Visit ready.gov.
Yes, ready. Go get it.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
Welcome back to the Midcoast Sportsnet studio. I'm Jason Andera, joined by Jordan Dalton. We're at the half right now where UND has a lead, 38-32 over the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. And we'll take a look around the league, in the Summit League and the Big Sky, for some scores going on in Wednesday action. And we'll start off with talking about the first game of the night. We had North Dakota SDSU 38-32 at half, as we just said. And then we've got Fort Wayne, the only other men's team playing today, and they're losing right now, 54-49 to Navy. We'll take a look at the next board. We've got more going on in the Big Sky, where the Weber State got a 62-61 final win over Dayton, a big win over Dayton. Dayton, a team that usually does pretty well in postseason action.
Absolutely.
And then you've got Montana, a regular at the dance as well, losing by 10 to BYU in the second half. And, of course, the ranked Arizona Wildcats, a tough matchup for Northern Arizona.
They're always tough. I got a chance to play down there a couple of times, and Arizona always has a solid team, from top to bottom each year.
It's hard to play a top 10 team right off the bat, but that's kind of what you get in the November and December schedule.
Absolutely.
In the Big Sky. You got to play a lot of conference. Well, we'll also talk about signing day. It was National Letter of Intent Day last week, and the SDSU got a few new players that they'll be adding to the team next year. What jumps out at you on this list, Jordan?
Well, you see Skylar Flatten, I've heard great things about him as far as his athleticism, and Coach Nagy is just huge on his potential. I said the kid has a great upside, and he's going to be a guy who steps in and contributes right away, and can also be one of the great players that go through SDSU.
Yeah, Skylar Flatten and Lane Severn, both from South Dakota. You look at the roster makeup right now that Scott Nagy's put together at SDSU. 6 of their players from South Dakota. It's important to win those players, the best players in the state, to stay home.
Oh, absolutely, and you always have a pride, playing for your home state, your home school, and it's just a sense of tradition that you want to carry on. You want to be known as somebody who, carries your state proudly and represents your state proudly as well.
Yeah, Skylar Flatten, obviously one of the best players in the state at the high school level, plays a little bit of small school, and then you've got Lane Severn, a bigger school player, and people have said that he's kind of like a Griffin Callahan, maybe a defensive stopper at the next level, so we'll see if he can come up and do that.
Absolutely. I know Coach Nagy is huge on his toughness, and that when you're building a team, that's the type of team you want. You want a team full of tough guys who aren't afraid to get their nose dirty and some of that hard work.
All right, well, we'll take you back out to the second half with Brad and Tom with more action up there at Frost Arena. And for now, we'll say goodbye from the Midcoast Sportsnet studios. We're clear? Okay. Just want to make sure. All right. I guess we're clear.
All right. We're still on.
I hope you find a home. I hope you find a home. Hey, maybe you'll be picked next. Maybe you'll be picked next. We've been caged together too long. We've been caged together too long. How come nobody ever picks me? Maybe they're looking for somebody different. Pick me. Well, the shelter's closing up for another day. We didn't get picked. I know. Tomorrow. Guaranteed.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long.
Jacks back on top.
Let's see if they can ride that momentum here. Still have not gotten this crowd involved in the game.
Well, at this point, a 6-0 run would be a big thing, wouldn't it? Tough shot again by Jamal Webb. And he's got 9 to go with a half dozen assists.
And you mentioned it earlier, Tom, just great balanced scoring from this UND team. They've gotten it from their bigs, they've gotten it from their guards.
South Dakota State's going to be in the 1-and-1. 8th team foul, that is on Jamal Webb. Dykstra will be at the free throw line.
Some South Dakota State getting to the foul line a lot, but they're making them as well now, almost 80% for the game. And you get there a lot in a game like this when you're struggling sometimes shooting from the field. Those free throws are huge.
16 for Dykstra. North Dakota has gotten scoring out of just about everybody. Good hands this time, though. Tavon Prince. Got that one for the Jacks. Walters. Has chilled a little bit now. He had that little run here in the second half. He's got 17, but hasn't scored for a while. Schuler puts North Dakota back on top. 7 for Schuler.
Yeah, there's contributions from everyone. You go look down the scoring list for UND, and
there's 6 guys with at least 7 points for North Dakota.
They've all had timely baskets when they've needed them.
That was off the hands of Carlson, so North Dakota will have it when we come back. UND up by 1 with 7.5 minutes to play.
Meet Brett Cassavant from Burlington, North Dakota. He's good people. As a Mid-Continent Plant Performance and Maintenance Manager in Minot, Brett keeps the entire region's fiber optic network humming. Brett also keeps his whole town of Burlington humming as a city councilman, school board member, and 13-year veteran in the volunteer fire department, getting involved and making a difference in communities just like yours. It's something we encourage in all our employees.
I'm Brett Cassavant. We're good people here in Minot.
Hey. Who's that?
Oh, that's Rob.
When I lived in this apartment, the 49ers won the Super Bowl. I used to watch every game from this exact spot. This exact spot. I didn't know what else to do. This is my lucky seat, man. The team needs me, man.
Bud Light, for the fans who do whatever it takes.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway of the Minnesota Vikings. I'm a big fan of how youth sports can help kids stay physically fit. But as an athlete and a parent, I'm also very concerned about safety. Millions of sports-related concussions happen every year, and many go unrecognized. That's alarming because the wrong treatment can slow recovery, worsen the condition, or lead to permanent damage. Please learn the facts about concussions and help protect our young athletes.
To learn more, visit sanfordhealth.org/headsup.
Back and forth here for the last 5 or 6 minutes. North Dakota on top with the basketball. Jamal Webb, Heath Schuler. Lenny and Twee out there right now at the guard spots. Doug Archer is in along with Brandon Brecky. Webb to Brecky. God, put him in a tough position there as Braden Carlson takes the charge. Brecky tried to hold up right when he got the basketball, but that was a tough spot for him to be in.
Yeah, a lot of traffic for the big fella. And hey, the one thing that was close on that play was if Carlson was outside of that restricted arc. It's a tough thing for the officials to see both the charge and where the feet are.
Dykstra goes hard, shot it too hard when he got there though, and North Dakota with that 1-point lead. Might have been a hurried shot there by Webb, but it works out all right. Comes right back to Webb. Schuler for three. And he got fouled on the shot by Walters. And 3 free throws coming up for Schuler.
South Dakota State was never set defensively on this possession. Gave up the O board and scramble out here. Walters trying to contest that late. And definitely got Schuler on the wrist. Tom, watching this North Dakota team play, you can tell they've been battle tested already this year. You know, they've played in tough environments like we talked about in the Open at Kansas State, at Northern Iowa. Played a game at Hawaii, and you know, they were in all of those contests at various points of the game. And one thing Brian Jones was hoping from his squad tonight was to be able to put together a full 40-minute game. And they're certainly on their way of doing that right now here.
They got down, I think it was 28 in the first half against Hawaii.
Yeah.
Came back, made it a 3-point game in the second half. So Schuler gets 2 to put him up by 3, and at the other end, and Twee hit Walters on the head was the call. So 2 more free throws now for Walters.
This hesitation sometimes you see right there, just a little hesitation, and that gets the defender off balance too, and their momentum often carries them into the shooter. That's what Walters kind of banks on a little bit to get himself to the foul line. Tom, he is making a living there tonight. 10 free throws, that looked right. 10 for 12.
19 points, 10 of those at the line. They had Schuler wide open on the back door.
Back to some ball screen action now for the North Dakota offense.
Coming up on 6 minutes to play. And Webb took a walk with it when he got it. And the Jacks with another chance to retake the lead.
Hey, you want to talk about a game that's been up for grabs here. Really, most of the second half. I mean, it's been 1-2 points either way, hasn't it?
I was looking for lead changes, yes.
And not enough ink to print that stat because there's been a lot of them.
Walters got a step, tough shot. That is a shot when he is locked in and totally on that is going in. But
yeah,
tonight it hasn't been that way. Streaking out though with Wilmer going against him, and 1 for Walters. And a foul on Wilmer. 21 for Nate Walters.
The key to this play, see how Walters actually initiates the contact, uses his body to shield the ball from the defender. And then even though he's off balance and getting hit at the same time, able to get it up on the glass soft enough to make it.
Well, it's not a stretch to say when he's done, will be the best player they've had at South Dakota State.
Certainly. I mean, he's totally on pace to be their all-time scoring leader and assist leader.
Yes.
And just been a phenomenal player for them, and came along at the perfect time as they were entering the Summit League and really getting to become a full-fledged Division I school.
Dykstra for 3. The Jacks have opened up a 4-point lead. They get a 4-point possession. And that is the 4th 3 of the night for Jordan Dykstra.
UND has been able to respond every time they've been challenged like this. Let's see what happens here.
That Webb got hit from behind. And that'll quiet the place anyway, if nothing else. And 2 free throws coming up for Webb. White, had he not had that hand on the waist of Jamal Webb, might have got away with it. But
clearly knocked him off balance here. And for UND, this is just going to be their 12th and 13th free throw on the game, compared to South Dakota State's been there 28 times.
It's the first free throw of the night for Webb. He's got 10 points. The 11 and 5 assists so far for Jamal Webb. 5 assists, 5 turnovers, but
Yeah.
that's kind of been his game so far this season.
He's a kid that makes a lot of plays, but sometimes makes some mistakes trying to make those plays.
Oh, what a move by Dykstra. First of all, put the dribble between two defenders and then pull up and hit it. He's got 21 now to match Walters.
I think it's safe to say Dykstra does not make that play last year as a silencer.
And Doug Archer, another 3. He had not taken a 3 in the first 4 ball games for North Dakota. He's hit 2 tonight.
Yeah,
and he's got 4 in his career.
Yeah, came in averaging 1 point a game.
So Archer's got 10. Wilmer has 11. North Dakota big guys have played great, and Archer gets them back within 1. Jackrabbits have their Summit League opener, as a matter of fact, coming up this Saturday. There's a men's and women's doubleheader here this Saturday. The women play Middle Tennessee State, and then the men will play Omaha before they go to Minnesota next Tuesday. But that season opener, the Summit League opener anyway, part of that, the Bracket Buster game is coming up in February. So all the men's teams are playing 1 game either tomorrow night or Saturday.
Yeah, they had to have an opening weekend to create that space in the schedule in February. I mean, look at the niftiness here of this ball handling and then the floater. Good body control from the big fella.
Dykstra at 6'8", and he's got 21 again. Walters has 21. Jacks with a 1-point lead is it, though, as North Dakota. North Dakota led by 6 at the half. And it has been the definition of back and forth here for about the last 10 minutes. Fegan will go to the line now as Brecky picks up the foul, and that's his 4th.
South Dakota State bigs getting aggressive, taking it to the rim here.
2 shots for Fegan.
Tom, I can't speak well enough about the way North Dakota has played here on the road. I mean, they have answered the bell. Every time they've been challenged in this game, they've come up with big answers, kept this thing close the whole way, and put themselves in a great position here down the stretch to get what would be a huge road win for them.
North Dakota, they'll get into the Big Sky this year. They were picked 4th in the Big Sky. They've got some respect already in their first year in the conference. Behind Montana. And behind Weber State. I think Northern Colorado was 3rd in that preseason poll, but it'll be interesting to watch and see how North Dakota does this year in the Big Sky. Dykstra deep and short on the 3. And we're going to 4 minutes now with a 2-point South Dakota State lead. Schuler to tie it up. Josh Schuler now with 11.
Beautiful transition there by UND.
North Dakota could put about 7 guys in double digits here tonight.
Yeah, they're going to be a tough team to match up against and just to guard if they can play like this night in, night out, where they have contributions from so many players. You can't key on any 1 or 2 guys.
Fegan shakes them up. They're too wide open, and he comes up short. Jamal Webb, and we will get a media timeout here at the next break, but an extended period of play here, and Schuler puts North Dakota back on top. 13 for Schuler.
Yeah, he's coming out of nowhere here now to have the hot hand.
Under 3 minutes to go.
And now these possessions get to be so big. See, they're going to ISO Dykstra. I just don't like that shot,
Tough
Tom.
time in the game to be taking jump shots,
It
isn't
is.
it?
And a fadeaway like that, done such a good job, I thought, the last few minutes of taking stuff to the rim and being aggressive.
And everybody's worn out right now. There's not been a break for about the last 5 minutes. Schuler with a miss, and we play on. Walters has it.
Now, you mentioned we have not had the under 4 media timeout. You can see South Dakota State's got 4 timeouts of their own that they haven't used yet. It seems like this game's gone fast, and I mean, it has. I mean, you look at this, the possessions that are going to be in this game, this is going to be a low possession game, probably in the 60s for possessions for each team.
We got a foul out on the floor on the drive by Mitch Wilmer. 6 68-66 North Dakota.
Today, nearly half our nation's fighting forces are members of the Guard and Reserve. When they are called to active duty, they leave behind a family, a community, and a job. Employer support of the Guard and Reserve, a Department of Defense agency, honors and protects the bond between service members and their civilian employers. Whether serving our country or supporting those who do, we all serve. To learn more about ESGR, call 1-800-336-4590 or visit esgr.mil.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.
This Midco Sports Network broadcast is brought to you by Sanford Health, where we come together to improve the human condition.
Doug Archer at the line. And he will shoot two here. With a minute 57 to go, and North Dakota up by 2.
These are big free throws for UND. You can get this to a 2-possession game with only 2 minutes to go. In a game that's been this tight, 4-point lead would seem huge.
So Archer with 12, Schuler's got 13, Brecky with 8, Wilmer with 11, Jamal Webb's got 11, Aaron Anderson with 7. Anderson has scored here in the second half, but hasn't been on the floor much. Walters cannot get it down, and Dykstra had a tap on it. Aaron Anderson runs it down, and a minute 40 to go, and a 4-point North Dakota lead.
You think the edge in a close game like this, from an experience standpoint, would be South Dakota State. They've played in 3 close ones this year.
Schuler had a little momentum going forward, and South Dakota State needs a hoop right now.
Yeah, if you ever had a bread and butter play you'd been saving, this is the time to run it if you're the Jackrabbits. If you don't score in this possession, you're going to have to start thinking about fouling.
Fegan runs it down and scores, and Scott Nagy takes a timeout.
Well, Mitch Wilmer has played an outstanding game for UND, but he made a huge mistake there, not blocking out Tony Fegan. Fegan was the guy with the energy. He went to the glass hard, came up with the loose ball. That's a huge hoop.
14 for Fegan. And North Dakota goes home. They get a game next Wednesday night against Kansas City out of the Summit League. And then on Sunday on the 9th, at Fargo at the Fargo Dome. We got that game for you here on Midco Sports Network. And then a couple of conference games in the Big Sky coming up on the 17th and the 21st against Southern Utah, and what will probably be a very good Northern Colorado team again this year.
If that Southern Utah name looks familiar, yes, they were in the Summit League last year and have switched over to the Big Sky. Certainly a good change for them from a geographic standpoint.
All right, so Fegan gets the Jacks within 2. A minute to play.
This allows now South Dakota State to just play this possession straight up. If you're UND, you want to run some clock, get the best possible look you can.
Both teams with their starting 5s out there. Good D by Walters. Shot clock is at 3. And Aaron Anderson had it blocked by Dykstra. Shot clock is off. Jacks needed 2 to tie.
No timeout being called here.
Jamal Webb got his hands on it. It comes back to Dykstra. Webb takes it away again, and he is fouled.
What a crazy exchange there. Both teams had cracks at that loose ball. It looked like UND was going to get it, then they lost it. South Dakota State had an opportunity. They couldn't corral it in.
Watch Webb get a hand on it right there, but it comes back to Nate Walters.
Oh, both teams.
It's going to be a 1-and-1 for Jamal Webb, and he has hit his only 2 at the line so far tonight. That is well short, and the Jacks with a chance again to tie with a 2. 8 seconds to go. Try to get Walters going to the basket. Out of the double team, kick it to White. They got to get a shot off here, and White for the win, and it's good! Jacks win it 71-70. They're going to take a look at it, but from here, that was the winner.
Well, unbelievable shot by Chad White. A hope and a prayer answered. And an exciting home win for South Dakota State, but for North Dakota, if this three-pointer stands, and from all indications from what we saw, it should. Here's the replay on it. And we don't have the clock on there, but
well, the officials are checking right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's leaving the floor, though, and everybody else in the building knows that shot is good. Chad White, he struggled tonight. He had that three-pointer. And you can definitely see the ball is out of his hands before the backboard lights up.
Yeah, certainly plenty of time. He got her off. For North Dakota, Heartbreak City, man. Play a fantastic game on the road, only to see it get snatched away from you there at the very end with a crucial miss from the free throw line and then the desperation 3.
As loud as it's been in here tonight, obviously the crowd was on its hands a little bit until that shot went in. But Whitey hit that 3 in the first minute of the game. He hit another 3 here about midway through the second half. And the Jacks looked like they were dead until Chad White bangs in the 3 to win it for South Dakota State. We will be back. Look at the second half highlights and the final numbers as South Dakota State wins it 71-70.
Yes, ready, ready. Go get it.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
That's right, it's a clash of the Titans. You're looking live at the front.
The region's biggest games.
Battle for bragging rights is about to take place.
The hottest matchups.
The entire state has been looking forward to this matchup.
The fiercest rivalries.
This is really a first for the state.
You'll find them all here. Midcoast Sports Network, coming at you live.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
South Dakota State by 1, and Brad Newitt, we talked earlier on in the women's game tonight that you might not look back in these games at this point in the season once you get to March and in the heat of the season, but this is a good game to look back on if you're South Dakota State. Just a rip your guts out loss for North Dakota because they had it in hand, and Chad White hits the 3 at the buzzer to win it for South Dakota State. Our player of the game, though, is going to go, could have gone with Jordan Dykstra. He had 21 tonight, but Nate Walters makes him go again. Walters, 21 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 steals in 39 minutes. And he had the turnover there late in the game, but I mean, he's solid, and he hit his numbers again tonight with 21 and 6.
Yeah, and even in a night where he struggled shooting it from the field, just 5 of 14 from the field, but he got himself to the foul line, Tom, 13 times, and so was still able to get that point and the points that he needed for his team to win.
All right, we're going to take one more break. We'll come back with the final numbers. North Dakota spread it all around tonight. A lot of their guys had good games tonight, and we'll be back with the final numbers when we return.
No matter where you're from in our region,
Jeremiah in Rapid City.
Anywhere you find Mid-Continent Communications employees, you'll find connections being made.
I'm Harry. Welcome to Pier.
They're connecting people like you to the very best in entertainment and communications.
Hi, I'm Rachel from Aberdeen.
So you can laugh and chat, cheer, and watch with your friends and family.
Jerry, Minot.
They're connecting more of the region to our advanced fiber optics network.
I'm Al from Grand Forks.
So everyone from families to businesses can enjoy the advanced technology we have to offer. When they're not connecting people to technology, they're connecting people to each other.
Jason, Cold Spring.
Through things like delivering meals to the elderly or teaching kids the meaning of sportsmanship.
Hi, I'm John down here in Yankton, South Dakota.
And those are the connections that matter most. Mid-Continent Communications, the connection that counts.
She talks to her mom a lot.
Jackrabbits win on a buzzer beater by Chad White. Let's take a quick look at the second half highlights. Brad Newitt, North Dakota led this game 38-32 at halftime, and the Jacks came back, tied it up, and then it stayed tight throughout. That is Mitch Wilmer, a career-high 11 points for him tonight. Nate Walters made 1 3, didn't make a whole lot of shots from the field, but he hit that 3, and then Dykstra hit that one, and that got the Jacks rolling a little bit, got him back in the lead. But then they went back and forth with a 1 or 2 point advantage after that. Doug Archer hit a couple of threes. Walters out on the break. Ground the foul against the big man. And then that sweet move by Dykstra put South Dakota State back on top. North Dakota, though, would regain the lead. Josh Schuler got hot and hit a couple of shots down the break or the end. And this is the final one by Chad White. The desperation heave at the buzzer is good. And the Jackrabbits win it 71-70.
Well, an amazing game that both these teams are going to go through a ton of emotions thinking back to this one for UND. Just a bitter ending for them. They played a great game here on the road, took South Dakota State to the wire, and for the Jackrabbits, sometimes you need a little bit of luck, and that's definitely what they got down the end there with White hitting that 3.
All right, North Dakota goes home now. They will play Kansas City at home next Wednesday night, and then at North Dakota State in Fargo on December 9th. Jackrabbits back here again on Saturday night. It's a doubleheader at Frost Arena. The South Dakota State women will play at 4 o'clock Saturday against Middle Tennessee State, and the South Dakota State men will open up Summit League play against Omaha on Saturday night when the women's game is done. Chad White with the game winner. Jackrabbits win it 71-70 for Brad Newitt. I'm Tom Neiman. Thanks to the Midco Sports Network crew. Good night from Brookings.
Some are new.
I'm Marissa from Minot.
Some have been with us for a while.
Welcome to Grand Forks. I'm Steve.
Yet no matter how long they've been with Mid-Continent Communications or where they work in our region,
I'm Dean.
Bismarck, North Dakota.
Mid-Continent's 1,300 employees have a few very important things in common.
Hi, I'm Bob from Watertown.
They really care about your experience as a customer.
Welcome. I'm Julie from Mitchell, South Dakota.
They're committed to delivering exciting new entertainment and communication services.
Hi, I'm Erin from Sioux Falls.
And they believe that community service, from building houses for the homeless,
Jennifer from Fairmont,
to organizing events that bring whole communities together,
Hi, I'm Cole in Bemidji.
is just as important as providing great customer service. Because connecting people, no matter how we do it, is something we truly enjoy. Mid-Continent Communications, the connection that counts.
This is Augustana Sports Scene, a weekly update on Viking athletics at South Dakota's largest private college. Now, let's catch up on the action and excitement of Augustana athletics as we roll our Augustana Sports Update for this week.
The Augustana men's basketball team closed out their non-conference schedule with a 66-47 victory over Dakota State at the Elman Center. Senior Cameron McCaffrey led the Vikings with 21 points and 5 assists. Sophomore Alex Richter added 9 points and led Augustana on the boards with 6 rebounds. Senior Brennan Olson tacked on 8 points as he went a perfect 4 for 4 from the field. The Vikings got out to a 34-29 halftime lead before going on an 18-7 run to start the second half. Augustana, now 4-0 on the season, shot 43% from the field while forcing Dakota State into 21 turnovers. In women's basketball, Coach Dave Prowse's team moved their record to 4-0 for the season as they topped Northwood of Michigan 76-64 and Hawaii Pacific 73-49 at the Oahu Classic in Honolulu, Hawaii. In the win over Northwood, Faith Tinklenberg led the way with 19 points and 8 rebounds. Shantiva Ashley added 14 points, with Lydia Nelson scoring 11 and grabbing 9 rebounds. Emily Schulte tallied 10 points and dished out 8 assists. The Augustana ladies moved out to a 43-27 halftime lead and fought off Northwood in the second half to gain the 12-point victory. The Vikings hit 9 of 22 three-pointers on their way to the Thanksgiving Day win. In the win over Hawaii Pacific, Shantiva Ashley broke loose for 21 points, with Emily Schulte scoring 13 and picking up 3 steals. Augustana ran out to a 36-25 halftime lead and more than doubled that margin in the second half to gain the 24-point victory. Faith Tinklenberg's 11 boards and Alex Feeney's 8 pushed the Vikings to a 48-40 rebound advantage. That's our sports update for this week. When we come back, we'll talk Augustana men's basketball with Coach Tom Billiter. Stay with us.
Augustana Sports Scene is brought to you by Sanford Health, improving the human condition, and by Mid-Continent Communications, part of our community, part of your life. Augustana Sports Scene is also brought to you by Graham Automotive, real service, real value.
He's got the strength and is making it look easy.
Show renewed strength. Whether it's our physicians, therapists, or athletic trainers, Sanford offers the finest and most integrated orthopedic team and services around.
There's nothing he couldn't lift right now.
For the everyday competitor in all of us, Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Midconet Extreme Wideband. 3 levels of extremely fast connections with exceptional capacity to choose from. Extreme 1.0. Exciting speeds that start out faster than anyone in the region. Extreme 2.0. Exhilarating speed for gaming or streaming. Extreme 3.0. Extraordinary speed for the whole house. It's among the nation's fastest. 3 extreme speeds. Only from Midconet Extreme Wideband.
Build your own bundle and save today. xisnext.com.
It's back, the 2013 Beetle. That's the power of German engineering.
How do you hold a moment?